Face it, you're never gonna be as good looking as Brad Pitt. But that's okay. Women don't actually care as much about looks as you'd think. But there is one thing you could steal from Brad Pitt that you totally weren't expecting. And it's what we're gonna learn today on this episode of Classic Charm. Contrary to his movie roles, Brad Pitt's real-life personality actually isn't the tough macho guy you see on screen. When you look closely, Brad is one of the most soft-spoken, polite, humble mega celebrities who's ever lived. But why does it seem as though he's so in control of every situation whenever you see him? Brad Pitt has mastered the #1 social skill that has the power to take any person from mild-mannered and relaxed to someone who owns every conversation they walk into. Before I teach it to you, I want you to look at one of the earliest recorded interviews with Brad Pitt. I want to see if you notice anything.
No, come on, talk to me.
I just had a movie the week the other night. Stuff. You know, I want to do this and that and this. Stuff covers it.
So how would you describe the show to someone who's new? You know, sort of the, what is it about? What's happening? And
I wouldn't.
Now let's look at one of Brad's interviews just a few years later. What can you notice about him that's different?
Now it's done, and now it's like nice to see. I think Neil Jordan is the king. You know, he put together a beautiful movie.
How was it working with Neil Jordan?
He's the king. He's the king.
And how was it working with Tom Cruise?
Absolutely great. I'm sorry if people want to make this story like he had problems. He's the best. You know, we really did a good thing. And we don't want to ignore everyone else because Antonio, Banderas, Christian Slater, Kirsten Dunst, Stephen Ray, all these people really gave it. You know, gave it all. Very good.
I like your haircut. Are you going to stay blonde?
I don't know. We'll see what the next job is.
It's plain to see that Brad has mastered the art of eye contact. In fact, I think Brad is better at using eye contact than anyone else in Hollywood or the entertainment industry for that matter. But just to call it eye contact is insulting to the level at which Mr. Pitt interacts with a person. Want to come join me on this deep breakdown of how Brad Pitt uses eye contact in a way that makes him come off absolutely charming as fuck to anyone he meets? Let's get started. The problem with the term eye contact is in the name itself. The point of the skill is not to just be staring into a person's eyes. In fact, if you do that, the person is probably gonna see you as a little off. That's the difference between someone who knows how to really connect with a person and someone who's just slapping social skills onto their personality as though it's a power-up you could purchase in a role-playing game to further your character. Actually, what you're seeing Brad Pitt do in his interviews is what I call being engaged. If you want to get really deep into what that means, I'll give you the link to my free audiobook, Iconic Bachelor, at the end of this episode. But to put it simply, being engaged is when you're completely tuned into every little movement and sound a person makes, and also how that plays into the words they're saying. Someone with an extremely strong ability to connect with someone sees the emotions beyond the emotions. Now, this is a huge part of being charming and can especially make or break a first interaction on a date or a business meeting. To see only a basic version of what a person is communicating to you shows people that you're not truly present in the moment, and thus implies you might be avoiding the situation. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this video, so let me show you what I mean rather than tell you. I'm going to say a sentence while blacking the screen. Then, I'm going to show you the exact same clip with seeing my facial expressions and body language. Ready? Here we go. Twizzlers are my favorite candy. Okay, based on what you heard, what was I communicating to you? Okay, now let's play this same clip, except this time, you get to see me saying it. Twizzlers are my favorite candy. Just because I love the art of social skills, let's play that same clip with a blackout only between my words favorite and candy. Twizzlers are my favorite candy. Did you see how missing my facial expression for just a fraction of a second changed the entire meaning of what I was communicating? This type of stuff is so exciting to me. Now, imagine you were having a big sales meeting. Or meeting a cute girl at your friend's birthday party. What if she was saying something that you really believed in, and because you're not fully engaged with that woman, you missed what she was really saying? I gotta tell you, women are ridiculously turned on by men who are so present in the moment and are able to notice everything going on around them, that this little thing can absolutely change everything about your success in relationships. It's one of the visible tells for people on whether you're retreating in your mind, not really confident about a situation and comfortable with the person you're interacting with, or feel perfectly relaxed about chatting with the person in front of you. To all the girls watching this, if you agree with me, tell me in the comments. Now, why is this one skill called being engaged especially helping respectful, humble, introverted people like Brad Pitt? A lot of people think that in order to come off humble and respectful, you need to act anxious and submissive to the person you're interacting with. This couldn't be fucking further from the truth. In fact, acting anxious and submissive is the most disrespectful demeanor you could show to a person. To respect a person is to acknowledge them. And to acknowledge that person, you must be completely engaged with them at all times. Now let me show you the perfect interview to give you a black and white example of what I mean. Here's an actors on actors interview with Brad Pitt and Adam Sandler. Now if you watch the interview, which I'll link in the description, both Brad and Adam are making absolute sure that they're showing the highest level of respect for each other while being humble about their own accomplishments.
Dude, no. But the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino.
He's good, that Tarantino.
He's
pretty good.
He should keep going. He should make at least one more.
He should. I think
right?
so. I think he should make one more.
Exactly. But then he's got to pull the plug.
Yeah.
To me, he's got one more in him, and then that's it.
He's done.
He's sure. Now you get that script. I know. I've seen Quentin. He goes hardcore at perfection in the script. So the script itself, you get that. You get your character. You what's the first thing you do when you know you're going to do it?
Well, this one, because the previous one, the script got burned. And so this one, there was just one copy, his first copy, and you'd had to go to his house and read it.
Oh, yeah?
And I think the Rick Dalton character had to get cast first before, he was trying to find the pair before the Cliff Booth would happen. So the first time I went, it was a nice, clean, crisp script.
Wow.
And I got called back like, I don't know how many weeks later, and it was all dog-eared and
snot-stained
and coffee cups. And,
so you got to read it pretty much first.
I don't know. I was somewhere. The script was pretty clean when I first got there.
You started out.
When I got the job, it was pretty well used. It was,
it
was pretty dirty.
And the dialogue itself you.
The difference is that while Brad is displaying this by being completely engaged and focused on Adam at all times, he's leaned in, he's making unwavering eye contact, and he speaks clearly and reacts accordingly. Conversely, Adam is showing his respect and modesty by mumbling his words, hemming and hawing, and darting his eyes in every which way. Adam thinks this submissive demeanor is what comes off respectful. It's on the contrary. It comes off avoidant and kind of pitiful. Now, I love Adam Sandler, so don't get me wrong, but I definitely would love to coach him on this stuff. So anyway, as a result, it's plain to see that Brad is leading the conversation while Adam is anxiously following along. But Brad, he's probably just as expressive as Adam. I'm telling you guys, I watched about 10 hours of Brad Pitt interviews. He's definitely not an extrovert, but it's because Brad knows the power of being engaged that he comes off so confident, manly, and charming. I could talk about this topic all day long, but I want to give you one last tip on mastering this eye contact. I, like most people, used to look up and to the left anytime I was talking in a conversation. Why? Because I'm a super visual person. I love diving into my ideas and past experiences to express myself fully. But what it was costing me was the richness of a fully engaged connection. So what I began practicing was diving into my thoughts and experiences while still keeping fully observant of the person in front of me. What you want to practice is while you're speaking, kind of lose yourself in the person's face. You're not actually staring at their eyes, but it rather feels as though you're looking past them, their entire being, as though they're transparent. So you could simultaneously visualize your thoughts as you're taking in the micro expressions someone's making at every given moment. You're able to watch in real time how they react to every sound you utter. This gives you a more detailed ability to react to them, which makes for a richer connection between the two of you. If you watch Brad, this is exactly what he does as well. He seems to be able to express himself while still fully gazing right into the person's soul. A true charmer, if you ask me. Do you want to take an even deeper dive into the skills you learned today? Well, now you can. You can get my free audiobook, Iconic Bachelor, Learning from the Greats, for free by clicking the link in the descriptione that goes into detail on how to become the happiest, most confident, attractive version of yourself that you could possibly be. My favorite part of these videos, it's the conversation I have with my community down in the comments. If you've been in my comment section before, you know that I'm most likely going to respond to you. Now, next week's episode covers the charm of Johnny Depp. So if you want to get that video as soon as it comes out, you could subscribe to my channel, and then hit that little bell for all notifications, and that will make sure you get notified when it's released next week. But for now, watch this next video where I break down how you could tap into the legendary charm of Kobe Bryant. I'll see you over there. And remember, relationships are everything.